And we're back with our final segment here on the Screen Team. Thank you for listening on KWOC this evening. We're getting ready to review one of the hottest new animated films out. It's called Sing, and we've got Chelsea and Matt here to tell us all of the details about the movie and whether or not it's worth your time or not. So, all right, guys, let's talk about Sing. You guys saw it, Chelsea? Yeah, we're going with Chelsea. We're going with you first on this one.
I'm Matt.
No, you are Chelsea.
I'm Matt.
Chelsea, tell us about Sing. Were you a fan of the movie?
I don't know. I had a little bit of a toss-up with this movie. And normally I'm an animated kids movie type, like, I love it. It's so awesome. But I don't know. This movie, like I talked about in our last review, it was predictable for me. Mm-hmm. And I liked some of the songs, but I think with the actors involved, the actors that they had as like main go out there characters compared to the one character that they kind of pushed back, mm-hmm. I felt should have been reversed. It should have been more of one other character rather than less of her. But other than that, I thought it was pretty okay. It was pretty, I'd recommend it to people. All the kids at work enjoyed it. So,
would you see it again?
Would I see it again? Probably not in theaters.
Yeah.
But if Matt's parents rented it and brought it over, I'd be like, okay, yeah, let's watch it. Woo!
So are you kind of on the fence with Sing, or did you have a?
If I had to say, I'd say I liked it,
Mm-hmm.
but my thing was for a movie called Sing, there wasn't a whole lot of singing.
Really?
Yeah, I mean there was some singing. Don't get me wrong, and different characters, and even in that, I wondered, is that the actual actor? Is Scarlett Johansson singing that, or Edgar Talon, or whatever his name?
Yeah, Talon.
Egerton.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Is he actually singing that? Because if he's singing that, that's impressive. But if not, okay. But overall, is kind of lacking in singing, and especially the character she's talking about, the one that's supposed to be the very powerful singer. Here it is, not that much, and so that was a little disappointing. But as a movie overall, I thought it was all right. Definitely good for kids. So
the singing they did do in this film, was it kind of like the trailer? Did they use a lot of pop songs, or was it original material that they used?
There was quite a bit of pop songs in there. There was, I think, one original song that Scarlett Johansson's character wrote, but other than that, it was pretty, like, oh, I recognize that song, and like I said, my kids at work were, oh, I love that song, I heard that song, that's Taylor Swift's song, or whoever, and, I get why, because kids can relate to those, because this is definitely aimed at children, but at the same time, the songs that they chose are definitely overplayed. And so when the singing happened and it was those songs, I was really, out of everything that's come out in the last at least year or half year, those are the songs that they chose. I felt like they could have chose better songs to go with, or even, wrote their own.
Yeah.
Everybody knows, the Disney songs, so why not try to play on that? I can write a song, type thing, but they really picked older pop songs, I felt like. And, like I said, I just felt like those songs have already been overplayed. Why bring them up again?
Right.
So, I don't know.
So, if parents bring their kids to this film, do you think they'll find some enjoyment out of it, or is this just strictly for kids?
I felt like it was just strictly for kids. I think one of the things that I enjoy about children's movies, and it's kind of a guilty pleasure, but the hidden innuendos and like the Easter eggs and things like that as an adult we can pick up on, and there wasn't any of that in this movie, which is good that they're coming out with more movies that don't have that, because it seems now that there's more movies that they call kids movies that really aren't.
Yeah.
So, because Matt, what movie was it that you said was definitely, it was aimed at kids, but it's not for kids?
Angry Birds.
Yeah.
You'd think that would be something that, kids are going to love it, and they might, because some of the jokes are not, they are not hidden carefully.
They weren't cloaked at all.
No, and so it's like, that's you're not being funny at that point, you're just being, brash, and
Crude,
I don't like that. Yeah. So this movie didn't have any of that. It was geared towards children. I would say that adults would have modest, fun watching it once, For someone who already watches movies, it was fun to try to match the voice to the character and try to figure out who it was.
Yeah, how did you guys feel about that? How did the voice, because McConaughey's in it, Scarlett Johansson's in it, like you said, how did the voice actors do?
I thought they did great. I couldn't tell that the main character was McConaughey. Every once in a while, you'd get his
Southern
yeah
drawl on it.
But for the most part, you wouldn't be able to tell. I mean, Scarlett was very, very upfront. You could tell that was Scarlett. I could tell that was, I keep messing up his name, Egerton from Kingsman, because he's got that accent that's very distinguishable.
And you pointed out John C. Reilly as soon as his character started talking. You're like, oh, hey, yeah, that's John C. Reilly. And I was like, oh, yeah, it is. And I could point out Tori Kelly, so that was
Tori Kelly?
She was the elephant, and I'm sorry, I can't remember her name, but she was the character that was supposed to be, the big singer, and I remember when Tori Kelly first became famous, and I was telling him that in the movie when I should have been watching, but I was like, oh yeah, she, from a Vine. I don't know if you remember that app.
No, not at all, man.
But she created a Vine. It was like 30 seconds long. It wasn't long at all. And where she just came up with a jingle sitting in the drive-thru at McDonald's. And she sounded so good that Vine really just took off. And then people started getting a hold of her, wanting her to sing, and and now she's doing, I think this is one of her first films that she's really been a part of. So it was really fun for me to be like, oh look, hey, but some characters we were kind of, is that really who that is? It was, like Seth MacFarlane, which
he plays like a mouse or something, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you watch Family Guy, and I think he did some award show, that guy's got some pipes. Like, he can actually sing.
Yeah.
Now, that good, I'm not sure, but I'm sure if you put him in a studio and really gave him a set, nice, I bet he could pull that off. I was more concerned with Joel, or Edgerton. I keep messing up his name.
Yeah.
Because when he talks, he has that kind of thick, should I say lower class? I don't know if I get in trouble with that. British accent almost, kind of down in the slopes. But when he sings, which I know actors are made to hide their accents, but I mean, it's top notch. I'm really impressed that that's him, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's not.
Yeah.
So.
So are you with Chelsea? Is this something you would see again, or would you feel like, no, let's pass?
I would see it again, but I wouldn't pay money to see it.
Yeah.
Like in the theaters.
Guys, I appreciate it, man. Very, very good review. The movie is called Sing, and you can find it in theaters. Chelsea, Matt, thank you guys for being on the show. Thank you for your expertise, and thank you for introducing some new films to the show. We appreciate you guys.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
All right, coming up, we'll have a brand new edition of the Screen Team. It's every Saturday at 6 p.m. For Matt, Chelsea, and Chris, we are the Screen Team right here on KWOC.